James Pierre is coming back to town, my friends. James Pierre is back in the Berg. Saw him today in the facility, said what's good. He looked in good shape. The Steelers signed him to their practice squad. He is expected to eventually sign to their 53-man roster. Everybody has questions about where the fourth string corner is going to go and how he is going to fit on this roster. And I think he makes an impact, if we're going to be honest. I think he makes a pretty good impact on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, we'll start with where he fits. Whose role does he take? Whose roster spot does he take? I think he takes Jalen Elliott's at some point. You know, there's just no need to have, 6 safeties? That is way too many safeties, especially when the Pittsburgh Steelers are benching or making him and Terrell Edmunds inactive on game days. That just doesn't make sense to me. Like at some point, you just got to pick and choose. You're probably going to pick Edmunds. I would guess Elliott's the guy, but I mean, hey, look, I was wrong last time. They just added him without getting rid of anybody. And this time, I mean, maybe there's nobody that's going to go on IR unless it's Matakevich or who was their other injury? Michael Pruitt. Michael Pruitt with a knee, potentially. But I think that it's Jalen Elliott's spot. I expect him to get called up to the 53. I don't expect him to make any noise on defense, but I do expect him to play a pretty significant role on special teams. So this means that we are eliminating playing slot over Beanie Bishop because I thought Beanie played fine on Sunday. And Edmunds might be the guy that eventually gets that call there. But we're also getting very close to the return of Cam Sutton, and you'll deal with that when you get there. The other side of this is special teams. Calvin Austin looks good, man. Calvin Austin looks very good as a punt returner, and he just looks like he has nobody blocking in front of him. And James Pierre is an excellent gunner. I mean, you got to remember this guy, he made the roster the first year as just like an undrafted with a bunch of talent. And then the second year they brought him back and they told him very straightforward, the only way you are making this roster is if you beat out Justin Lane as a gunner. And Justin Lane was not very good at playing defensive football. He was excellent at playing special teams football, and he was excellent at being a gunner. James Pierre eventually learned to beat him out. So I think that's where this boost comes from with James Pierre. Special teams adds to Calvin Austin, adds to the ability of Cordero Patterson, and so on and so forth. And I like the move. I think they should have made it a couple of weeks ago. I thought he was a name to watch when the 53-man rosters came out, just to add him to the practice squad and eventually boost him up when you need him. What's up, guys? It's football season, and we've teamed up with DraftKings. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will receive $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, you'll receive 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. It's hard to think of a better way to celebrate fall weather, your favorite jersey, and Sunday touchdowns than with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings app and use our promo code ALLSteelers. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly and 1 month of NFL Plus Premium after betting just $5. Stay in the action and use your $250 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You could still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook. But yeah, I think it's a good move. I'm a big special teams guy, gunner guy, and James Pierre I think adds a little boost. Does anybody care that it's a special teams boost?
I mean, if you look at a lot of the moves that they've made, and especially the moves that they've made to bring back former players, I mean, it started with Tyler Matakevich. Now we're seeing James Pierre. We saw Terrell Edmunds last week. They're just saying, you know what? Let's get our former, backups that ended up being starters that we didn't like in that role and just say, hey, you were great at special teams. Come in and just do that. I mean, as we talked about last week, they're fortifying their team and their depth. They're trying to fix these small holes and plug them before they become bigger issues. And one of the biggest issues right now is that gunner on punt return, because as you mentioned, Calvin Austin, the difference in him from last year to this year, And it's without blocking. You can tell he is much more comfortable reading the field after he catches the punts. You can tell he's much better at getting north and south quickly. He just needs lanes. And this is going to be a big reason for why James Pierre is here, is to create more of those lanes for Calvin Austin so he can get them into better field position.
100%. So as we're speaking, Tyler Matakevich goes on IR. Steelers make the move there. They now have an open roster spot. That will be James Pierre. Matakevich is a massive loss here for 4 weeks. A hamstring, wasn't expecting it to be that bad. Apparently it is. Now you're banking on Mark Robinson, which is why he kept Mark Robinson, which is big. That's why he kept Mark Robinson, and it's a good move to keep him now that hindsight's 2020. But that opens up the roster spot for James Pierre. But I agree with you. James Pierre could add some very undervalued potential to Calvin Austin and what he can do. And that's big. That stinks that they're losing Tyler Matakevich for at least 4 weeks. I thought he's been playing very well. I mean, his hit on, when he got hurt, I want to say it was Marvin Mims. That was vicious. It was worse. I mean, it probably, TV always adds a little oomph. In person, like, you watched Marvin Mims go like 3 yards backwards. You saw Tyler coming the whole time. You were standing, you're like, dude, this is, oh gosh, he's not seeing him. He didn't see him at all. And then boom, smokes him. So shout out Tyler Matakevich. Hopefully the injury's not as serious as it looks with the IR designation, and this is more of a roster spot move. Shout out to James Pierre. Looking forward to seeing him back in the locker room. He's a good dude.